Hello, everybody. I wanted you see those two games today? Tampa Bay Bucks um, against well, anyway, Tampa Bay against Green Bay. Um, Brady against Aaron Rodgers, and then Mahomes against Josh Allen. The Bills against the Chiefs. Green Bay against Tampa Bay. You know what that is to me? That what that really is. And this you see it in boxing all the time, but you very seldom see it in football. But sometimes you see it in football during the regular season. Very few in the playoffs. What you saw today is Thomas Brady, an all-time great, maybe the all-time great. I used to think Mahomes was, but I think Brady outdid him this time by being 43 years old and taking the Tampa Bay, who, quite frankly, hasn't been to the playoffs like 25 years, and I've been 18 years, and I've been to a Super Bowl in about 25 or more. They had no team. Even Bruce Arians, a guy who criticized Tom Brady in the beginning, came and finally said that Brady brought the whole team together. Thomas Brady, okay, Joe Montana is my personal favorite, okay? And I'm a Clevelander, and Bernie Kosar is my second favorite. With Baker Mayfield fastly becoming a favorite. But I'm gonna say Mahomes. No, I say Mahomes, and between Mahomes and Brady, my favorite. I like Mahomes. I like Brady too. I can't decide between those two. Well, now I guess I'll get to decide in the Super Bowl. I guess they'll decide for me. But listen, is this a case of the old king passing the torch to the young king, the prince about to be anointed a king, perhaps? Is this a case of the king is dead, long live the king? Kansas City has to be the favorite in the Super Bowl. And what I seen with Tampa Bay against Green Bay, I saw Brady. I thought, well, wow, damn. I always thought something a little off about Brady. At 43, and I said, damn, this cat still got it. Look at him, throwing long balls and shit. But I figured out was Brady he doesn't have a lot of touch when it comes to the mid yard throws and like little touch passes. He's lost that. That used to be his forte. Those 20-yard passes and that such a thing, short, maybe a little short, maybe a little longer. But now he's lost touch. Like I was wondering, like I was wondering, I was saying to myself, my wife was saying, why don't Brady throw some mid-range throws like Aaron Rodgers? And I was thinking that too. But then I said, well, his receivers not catching his balls. His ball, they're going between their fingers. Uh, Excuse me. When I looked at it really good, I saw that it wasn't so much his receivers couldn't catch the balls, though Brady really darts it. And sometimes the way he throws the ball now, it takes the guy a longer time to get down under. But Brady was throwing. They look. I mean, the announcers was giving Brady credit, saying all the receivers dropping the ball, but they always kiss Brady's ass like that. Brady was throwing mid-range passes that kind of funky at best. That's why his receivers, they were popping off his receivers' fingertips, and defenders for Green Bay was able to intercept his balls 3 times. I think what we saw, Brady started out great in the game. I mean, them long bombs are great. But I think we saw Brady age before our eyes in one game. That defense is what got Tampa Bay to the promised land. Just like we saw Peyton Manning with the Broncos this last year when the Broncos won the title, Peyton Manning's defense is what got the Broncos that win. The Bucs defense has been uncharacteristically very good their last 2 playoff games. And they're going to need all that defense if they want to defeat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, I was saying because teams were scoring all over the place on Mahomes and his Chiefs, that their defense was piss poor. But in their last 2 games, one against my team, the Cleveland Browns, who can score on your ass pretty quick, and in this game against the Bills, who are no slouches in the scoring game themselves, the Kansas City Chiefs defense looked marvelous. And that's good for a team to be peaking around this time, right around playoff time. If you're going to go far, right around the second part of the season, you should be peaking. But no matter how good the offenses, and no matter how much the NFL try to hamper the defenses so that the offenses can shine, when it gets this far in the season and when it gets to playoff games, the defenses is what's going to get you over the hump. And the Chiefs' defense has shown that it's up to that task. So has as the Bucs' defense have shown that they're up to that task. But the difference is, if he's not throwing a long ball, and then if he's pressured, and sometimes Brady arm can't get the ball as far as he wants. It's thrown behind people or in front of people. But Tom Brady, as much as you guys want to say he looked great, he did in the first half. Tom Brady could be the weak link in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady started to age right before me in the second quarter and threw 3 consecutive interceptions. That's uncharacteristic of Tom Brady. And it wasn't Green Bay's defense was all that great. It was that his arm, like your head tell your body do this, and your body say, I can't do that shit no more. That's what we started. I started to see hints of it all throughout the season. But this one game, Tom Brady was doing good, and then his age started to show. I mean, for Tom Brady, okay, for an average quarterback, that'd be good, but for Tom Brady, that's bad, his performance. And then when they finally got the ball, and they got the ball, the last team to get the ball in the game, they just passed it off, which I understand. You don't want to lose the game the last few minutes. But folks, I think what this is the football universe, the football gods you got granting us, because these are the two. I think when it's all over for Mahomes, he will go down with Brady as the best quarterbacks ever. I think they're going to replace Montana. I hate to say that. I love Joe Montana, but Thomas Brady and Mahomes, Pat Mahomes, are going to go down. Forget his mom. I'm talking about Patrick. What kind of weirdo mom is that? This man is a grown man and a football player. You talk like you some old school mom from the 20s or something. Call him Patrick. Pat Mahomes is going to go down as the other greatest quarterback of all time, maybe the greatest. Even if he gets hurt now or and can't play, what he showed already, it showed that he is perhaps the 1-2 greatest quarterback of all time, along with Thomas Patrick. Both of them got the name Patrick. You notice that? You see that? Thomas Patrick Brady. And I think the football gods, because these two quarterbacks are so special, have arranged for them to be facing off in an important Super Bowl. Tom Mahomes' second Super Bowl, I think it's his fourth year in 5 years, and Thomas Brady's 10th Super Bowl in like 20 years or so. A passing of the guard from the old to the new. That's what we're seeing here. We're seeing the former best quarterback of all time against the future best quarterback of all time. The future meaning right after this Super Bowl game, because I'm pretty damn sure the Chiefs are going to spank the Bucs. I'm pretty sure they're going to spank the Bucs. Okay, I just wanted to make a report on that. What I think. I saw the games tonight. I don't know if I'm talking about anything else. Oh yeah, okay. Talking about boxing, which is my main concern. And boxing. Is it a case where the female boxers uh, are more apt and more concerned with unifying their titles than the male boxers? I see female boxers all around the place, especially now Clarissa Shields fighting the 154-pound queen of boxing. And they both are running towards each other, not away from each other like our male boxers today. Canelo Alvarez, got my what the hell, Ryan Garcia, um, Terrence Crawford, and you know what? I want to say that Errol Spence. You know what? The thing with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, I want to say one is scared and the other one's glad of it. Because neither of these guys look like they really want to fight each other. I for sure think Terrence Crawford is leery about fighting Errol Spence. And I think he just wanted to have a career where he's getting paid by Bob Arum and taking some like real weak fights and making money and not having to risk yourself that much. But I want to say I see that in Errol Spence too, because both of these fools, if you ask me, use excuses not to fight each other. I'm 64, I'm the top, I'm the A side, I'm the B side. Shit started with Anthony Joshua talking that shit. Eddie Hearn, A side, B side. Now everybody's using it who don't want to fight each other. You got Terrence Crawford talking about he's the A side. You got Errol Spence talking about I need the A side, and if you don't agree to 60-40, I'm going to go fight Canelo. Okay, to me that sounds like two scared men. But the fact that Errol Spence wants to fight Canelo, why the hell would you be scared of Terence Crawford? But this could be him just cashing out. You know, I don't know what he went through when he had that car accident. Maybe his mentality flipped. Maybe something flashed before his eyes. And maybe he wants to get out the boxing game now and spend more time with his daughters and his family. Or maybe he wants to invest in something. I don't know. But if you ask me, I heard some things from Errol Spence, some things that sound to me like he may be a little scared of Terence Crawford too. Maybe he sees something in Terence Crawford that he feels he cannot overcome. Terence Crawford definitely is scared to me, afraid of the fight Errol Spence. He feels in his mind he's gonna get an ass whooping. I can see that. The only reason that he got in there with I can't ever think of this cat from England, Chocolate Brownie, because he knew he was shot. I don't think he would have gotten there with him. Because that guy was a hell of a fighter before he fought G. And that just ruined that boy. Then he went behind and fought a ruffian like Errol Spence. That was it. You don't fight two bulls like that back to back. That's what I think happened to Gerald McClellan. But I won't. That's neither here nor there. I don't want to talk about that. I love Gerald McClellan. I hate to see that. And see him like that. That really hurt me and turned me away from boxing for years. But anyway, one time I remember, I think Errol Spence turned up to an event and Crawford was there, or the other, and he said no. And Errol Spence said they were talking, and he said something to the effect. He's not to the effect, but he said, yeah, something like, he always take, like, yeah, I'm gonna take the hardest fight last. Like he was saying, Terence Crawford was gonna be the harder fight, and that showed me comprehend. That showed me that he had some apprehension about fighting that boy. And Terence Crawford was looking like like big brother, yeah, big brother, I know, I'm just talking, I just want to wrestle you, big brother, I know you gonna this toughly gonna get me, I know I can't do nothing with you, you my big brother, but I'm still gonna wrestle you just for fun. What I was looking at was either a mutual admiration society or one nigga was dead scared of the other and the other was glad of it. All right, so I'm gonna say ducking is ducking all the way around. To me, Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is glad of it. He's not going because if Errol Spence come down and say, I bet if he even said, okay, I'll meet you halfway, 50-50, and Terence Crawford would have to fight. He's glad that Terence Crawford has priced himself out of the fight. All right, so the male fighters are afraid to unify. It seems like these motherfuckers. I mean, these cats, niggas, spicks, all whatever you want to call them, all niggas, Mexicans, whatever. They scared to fight. They're afraid. They're afraid. I never seen such a cowardly bunch of fighters. Boxers. Scared to fight. I think they're more scared of getting that L because they think they can't come back after that. That's what it is. Everyone's afraid of getting that L because they're afraid of not getting money, lucrative fights in the future. And that's what everyone is in boxing for, to make money. The women are more apt to fight than are the men. Are more apt to unify than the men. High caliber women are more apt to fight other high caliber women than the men. And I'm ashamed to say that. Because I don't care what this feminist and all these new modern and newfangled folks say, the male is the leader in nature. It's just the male principle is the assertive principle in nature. Now that flips back and forth because at one instant the assertive force is the assertive force, and the denying, as Gurdjieff called it, or the negative force, or the inassertive force, is the inassertive force. But then, in certain things, like even sex, the assertive force enters the inassertive force, and then the assertive force becomes the assertive force, and they switch. And that's in everything. But the male is the assertive force. And for these cats to be acting scared of another man, or scared to risk their reputation, or scared they're not going to be able to make the same money if they lose, that to me, that's embarrassing. As a man, looking at women and saying the stuff I say that men should lead, what is a woman going to think seeing that? That she should step aside and let her man lead. Also, well, it's looking pretty bad, folks. We know that women are. We know how women fight, though. They're more emotional. They grab each other's hair, lock in, and just get the bang. And I'm talking about on the street. That's what they do. That's how they fight. And they're more apt to want to tear each other apart. Anyway, but this ain't. And in former times in boxing, this has not been the case. The male fighters couldn't wait to see who was the best. Female fighters too, mostly, but all the fighters couldn't wait to see who was the best because nothing less was tolerated in the sport by the fans. And other boxers would call him a bitch, or no, they didn't say it back then, a punk. If a male fighter acted afraid to fight another one, if Sugar Ray Leonard was afraid to fight Tommy Hearns, or vice versa, they couldn't wait to get to each other and see who was the best. That's why I don't understand this current fighter mentality. I think it may be, and this is a fact, folks, that males today have less testosterone than those males who were fighting back then. That's a fact. You look it up. Okay, I still got to say, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.